Of course, the way that NiP's been playing, it really doesn't make a difference. Let's go ahead and go back to what happened during the semifinals for those that hadn't had the chance to watch Counter-Strike Global Offensive throughout this tournament. In the semifinals, the very first map on DE Dust 2, Mouse Sports was leading 9-0 in the very beginning of the game. I actually had a chance there to talk to some of the players from NiP, and one of the things that was mentioned that they just weren't all there. They weren't playing their game. And so right there they said, hey, calm your cool and let's get ready to get this one underway. As NiP is ready, as you can hear the crowd cheering here, and we should be getting live here in just a moment right here on DE Inferno.
And that was a good example of a team that is very strong mentally. Being down 0-9, I was actually watching right behind NiP at the time. And, you know, while they're frustrated because they're losing rounds, they're still capable of just pulling it all back together and not getting overly frustrated or thinking about it too much so that it doesn't affect their play.
As you can see, Get right there. It actually has a pretty good storyline as well. Most people, if you haven't had the chance, he's actually having some ear infection that's causing some hearing loss, and it's actually been bothering, also causing some headaches throughout the process. So he's actually pushed the surgery back a little bit so he can play in this tournament. And so hopefully, and we all want Get Right to feel better, and it really hasn't made a great impact, but think about it, having to play Counter-Strike Global Offensive and just a headache out of nowhere just starts to hit you.
Yeah, that's got to be very frustrating, but hopefully that surgery in a couple of weeks will get that all fixed and he'll be back to normal.
All right, so that's going to bring us into the pistol round, as we'll see what kind of setup we're going to have right off the start here. As you can see, again, we have Ninjas in Pajamas starting off on the counter-terrorist side. You've got Freiburg and Get Right over here inside the B area. See what happens as we got the bomb carrier is going to be RPK. Heading over here towards the inside. Nice shot by MBK. Able to start things off, taking out Forrest. As now it's going to be down to a 5-on-4. Smith's under a lot of gunfire. Again, those are two members that were over there towards the banana side. They're still playing extremely aggressive. They need to be on the lookout here inside of that alt mid. As there goes Get Right. He's going to get spotted there inside of mid. As now it's going to be down still to a 5-on-4. A lot of damage has been caused here to VeryGames, as we see here Freiburg pushing up there inside of mid with his teammates. As we pop on the x-ray so those of you at home can see what's going on. And there goes one. A nice, huge round coming in by Faflaren. That's 3 kills coming in across the board. Can he make it 4? In existence, able to shut him down. Now it's going to be down to a 1-on-2. 40 seconds left here in the round, but the bomb is down outside of this bomb site. As you have to battle up against, you have to fight against Freiburg and Get Right. Get Right is again low on health, pushing out there, and he's going to get headshotted. Freiburg from NiP picking up the first round here against VeryGames.
And that was a big performance by Faflaren there, who was all alone left in the side after NBK got the kill on Forrest, and then Exist was taken out in the big pit, and he really turned the round around there for his team.
That's a great counter strat there coming in by NiP. In the previous matchups that we've seen from VeryGames that ended up on Inferno, they played very aggressive over there towards that banana side, and this time you can see how NiP actually played aggressive themselves, counteracting exactly what's going on. We're on board here with Get Right. As you can see, he's utilizing this crack right here in that car area so he can peek back out at the right moment.
And VeryGames is once again on one of their, by now I guess, trademark half-buy, half-save rounds where they have some P250s and a bunch of nades, so we'll see what they end up doing here.
It looks like they're going to be heading over here towards this other bomb site right now. Ken Forrest worked with his teammate right there. That's Exist, who's watching over there towards the apartments. But it looks like we may actually have, they're going to be wrapping here towards that CT side. Get Right picking up the first one, as they're going to be delayed now, as again you've got to have to deal with the ultimate force being Get Right here from NiP.
And Existence is very low on health. This is looking like a very hard round for VeryGames to win. They're probably their only hopes are going to be to get 1 or 2 guns away from NiP. They should not be able to win this round.
Great passive play coming in here by NiP. You can see this cross point as they're going to go ahead and push up there. Get Right going to get up another one, and the low health there from Existence will be extinguished there. Now the score is going to be 2-0 here in favor of the Swedish over the French.
And VeryGames, of course, will be on another save round here, or, you know, might be on one of their specific save rounds where they spend quite a lot of money, but they will not be on a proper buy, that's for sure.
As we can take a look here what we're current money situation, you can see that they're all sitting around 2K. Of course, not getting the bomb planted is definitely a huge aspect of that. As we see that you've got, it looks like the Terracid are moving up inside of mid. Existence with a huge kill taking down Forest.
That was NiP being overly aggressive in middle for really no reason.
But
Get Right is going to get 4 kills.
Can he be able to make it 5? Is he going for the ace? RPK cost some damage, and he will not pick up the ace. The kill streak has ended, but Freiburg finishing things off. 3-0 is your score, and currently right now, NiP not only leads this series 1-0, taking the first map, but now they've taken the first 3 rounds here against VeryGames.
And you can really tell how loud the obviously Swedish crowd is getting every time NiP is winning rounds. And it's a little unlucky for VeryGames that when these two met in Paris, which is VeryGames' home ground, they actually couldn't play on the stage because of issues, so VeryGames couldn't have that same advantage.
All right, so as we take a look here in this gun round here for VeryGames, I got AKs across the board, but Existence has been really struggling in a sense of picking up kills and has been limited, especially since the fact that he's had to buy smokes and flashes on how they do their own eco rounds, and so he's limited to this Galil in hand.
It looks like right now VeryGames is just running their default beginning of a strat. They're just going to take over various areas, try to find out how NiP is playing, and not overly committing anywhere in the map yet so they don't go down early.
So a perfect little push up. 4 shutting down 2 with the M4. Going big as now it's going to be down to a 3-on-4. And you've got Kenny S. Smiths as well as Nathan. And that's also known as NBK here for VeryGames left alive here in this gun round. Smith spamming through the smoke. Does not connect with that member over there, but the action really will happen over here towards the A side. He's trying to draw in a distraction, and if you look at it, the defense has set up 2 men over here, but they have to deal with Get Right, who's been unleashing a fury here in this game, and a battle going on between NBK and Faflarian, but we'll switch over to Get Right, as again, he's been so huge, and he sprays away, and he gets shut down there by Smith. Now it's going to be all down to a 3-on-3. And they've got 1 member left alive here on the counter-terror side. Great counter flash, slowing them down. 20 seconds left here in the round. They have to commit, as it looks like they're going to go and rotate all the way around, but they still need to be on the lookout. They've got Faflarian and Exist, who are holding down this site. They have to commit to this bomb site now. They're forcing themselves to have to get this bomb planted, and there goes Exist. Sprays down 1, and the bomb will not get planted in time, so the counter-terrorists not only pick up the round, but the round has ended. And so that means whatever weapons Smiths and Kenny S ended up with, that's all they have, because there's no money that goes into their bank. As you can see, $600 there and $700 there for Kenny S.
And that was a mistake by VeryGames there. They had a 2v1 in that B side if they just chose to go in. And NiP was very late to the rotation. Of course, they weren't aware of that during that route, but they simply didn't give themselves enough time to run all the way back to A and get the bomb down.
You had to go all the way down and around. But let's go and take a look here. And during this round, Faflarian picking up that first frag here inside of mid. They do have AKs to work with. Again, they've lost 4 consecutive rounds in a row. And so they have that economy bonus to work with here on that Terrier side, especially being on the T side where the guns are a lot cheaper than that CT side.
Interestingly enough, they actually haven't full bot though. They only have some P250s, oddly, but we'll see what VeryGames can do here on this partial buy.
Exists holding down this upper side. He has NBK to worry about, but it looks like that 3 HP is going to deter him, and he's going to fall back and regroup with his teammates here inside of mid. And it's a nice little shot there by Force, switching back over to his point of view. He's been able to pick up 2, and actually right now we've got Existence, who's on the other side of the map. See if he might be able to make at least a frag come on here, as they're going to continue to be able to push up. And look out, there's going to be Freiburg taking him out with the M4, as now the score is going to be 5-0. NiP, complete control here in the DreamHack Winter Finals right here against VeryGames.
VeryGames really haven't had much of a chance to even win a round ever since that pistol where Faflarian managed to get 3 people coming out of holes. Ever since then, closest they came was that round where they decided to rotate all the way back to A, and the second that decision was made, they had already lost that round.
Let's take a look at what they've got. They've got full nade sets across the board, 5 consecutive rounds that they've lost, so they're going to collectively pull in 3,400 every round from this point. Existence opening things off, and they're inside of mid. Now some action's happening here on the terror side for VeryGames. Get Right on the rotate. And Freiburg is going to have to be able to flank around. It's going to be down to a 2v5 just like that, but can Get Right hold down this site by himself. His teammate again on that flank. See if you're able to make something happen as we look back over there. Bomb is right now, I believe, is getting planted here by Existence inside of that A bomb site. Lots of flashes coming out there. Still hasn't been planted yet.
And VeryGames needs to get the bomb down. They finally do, but they actually give NiP a lot of time to get closer. However, that's not going to make much of a difference as NiP has chosen to save their weapons.
Yeah, as you can see, take a look here where they're going to end up falling back. Great job by VeryGames, though, not only getting all three members of those taken out, getting the bombs down and picking up this round. It's a very flawless execution. If they can end up saving all of their weapons, this will be a huge round for them. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and continue to push out, see if you've got one inside. Look at Freiberg. He is going to be able to get one exit kill, and they're going to fall back. That's actually where most of those players should have ended up. You can see that they're in the backside of that pit where you can actually save your weapons there. So the first round that we see coming in here for VeryGames, now it's going to be 5-1, a 4-round lead here in favor of NiP.
And it's an important round now for VeryGames, who can afford to win one and lose the next round, which basically resets their money situation and is eventually going to force them to save. What they really need to do now is string some rounds together, win this one, force NiP to save, and then really get back into the game.
You can see right here we've got Faflaren watching over there. Oh, almost connects there as he slid on by. He's going to hold down this area. Beautiful smoke coming in there. Pretty typical point. Let's go ahead and kind of surf around and kind of get a look here at what we've got. As you can see, you've got Get Right in this region inside of the A side. As we'll go ahead and fall back in here and see what's happening on the rest of this map so far. And right now, that's what it looks like.
Freiberg is also pushed up very far down in the banana, and he knows VeryGames is not coming that way, allowing NiP to over-rotate towards the A site.
This is going to be a very tough round for VeryGames to pick up here, as they've got three members to worry about and one over by CT Arch. And one of them just so happens to be Faflaren with that AWP from CT Arch. Look how they rotated around. Now they have a teammate while he was rotating, taking a look over there towards that CT Arch. Beautiful smoke coming in there by VeryGames. Able to rotate through, but they still have to worry about Faflaren there with that AWP. Can RPK pick up this kill? Missing is going to be Faflaren. He has some cover fire, and answering back is going to be his teammate there, Exist, but it's going to be down to a 3-on-4. There's still one player here inside the site here for Smith, and he's going to get dropped there. Nice little kills coming across the board. Now it's going to be left up down to Existence. He's down to a 1-on-1 over here towards that B bomb site, but he has to worry on the flank. And again, this CT area right here in the past, of course, for 1.6, this didn't exist. And you can see how he's just able to pick him off down that hallway. Great job by NiP, and again, VeryGames struggling 6-1 right now in favor of NiP over VeryGames. This is that hallway that I was speaking about that had just got newly added here to this map, and that exchange there too.
VeryGames have finally decided to buy with 45K, which they haven't done in the previous game, so this is going to be another buy round, and it's very important for the Frenchies, who are making a quick push down middle.
As Forrest going to go and start things off, picking up that first frag. Going to push in. He's going to spot one here in a second. There's going to be another frag to add to the board there. He's going to look for a third, and he's going to get taken out by Kenny S. And so now the score 7-1 over VeryGames. And again, it's a 1-0 lead here in the series of this best of three in the grand finals right here at the DreamHack winner here in 2012.
And that, of course, means VeryGames is starting to have their backs against the walls over here. They really can't afford to go down too much. Although T side of Inferno is obviously the way harder side of the map, they still need to get at least 4 to 5 rounds to have something to work with once they switch to that easier counter-terrorist side.
Get right there. He has his teammate to work with, but he has pushed up just close enough. It's going to be a save round coming in here for VeryGames. Flash is coming out there, peeking out at the right time, able to take down one, but also action happening on the other bomb site, where you had Faflaren pick up one frag as well. So now as we kind of scan the map, you've got MBK pushing up. Shots being fired there by Forrest. Forrest able to finish off Kenny S. Now it's going to be left up to NBK, low on health. And that's going to eliminate that one as well. So that's a huge round in terms of looking at it. All 5 members stayed alive in that eco round, so VeryGames gets no added benefit from that and score now a 7-round lead here in favor of NiP.
And we're finally seeing some urgency here from the French side, who have once again decided to go for a buy with about 4,500 on their bank accounts in the beginning of the half. And this is something that we've been talking about throughout the whole tournaments. We've been watching VeryGames play, and they're finally adjusting. And now we just have to wonder, though, like, have they known this the whole time, and they just chosen to play as I would say, wrong.
All right, as you see right now, we've got two players pushing over here towards that area. You've got Freiburg, who's leading the charge, able to pick up that first frag. Now they know that the B bomb site is completely on lock. As we switch back over, you can see that you've got Get right there as well. And still, they have another member still stuck in here inside that B bomb site. Now starting, should be rotating here soon on that counter-terrorist side. They're still overstacked that bomb site. Finally, Exist starts to rotate.
And VeryGames is already not only down a member, but Kenny S has been shut down with just 16 health points. So it's once again looking like a hard round for VeryGames to win.
As right now, it looks like they're still going to end up, start to move over here towards this bomb site. Look at this. It's just an interesting approach here by NiP.
And Forrest spots a guy there in Boiler Room, gets the first kill. Well, Get Right gets taken out by Banana. This might be a free entry for VeryGames, but no, Freiburg is actually still in the site, and their counter flashes have stopped the VeryGames push.
Oh wow, that was almost close where Flarian may have made contact with his teammate. Inside the site though is going to be some action. Kenny S going to get taken down. Now it's going to be left up to RPK, down to a 1-on-3. And he doesn't have any time to work with here, but he needs to rush into the action so he can at least get that economy bonus. He will lose that weapon. I mean, he could end up just saving it, in all theory, because you'd end up buying the exact same thing.
Yeah, he probably should have ended up saving in that situation. As we see, he only got 3,200 for dying that round, so he probably would have come out slightly ahead.
Yeah, thinking in terms of it, he should have just ended up falling back and trying to be able to hold on to that AK. He had 2 nades that he had to work with. He had full armor as well. So in the end of it, he probably should have just ended up saving his weapon. 9-1. We're sitting at 7 rounds away from being game point, game set, and championship point overall. Pushing inside the side is going to be, there goes MPK getting dropped there by Forrest. That's 2. You just got to be on the lookout for. Anytime you put Forrest on the main stage, he is just unleashing fury as he finally gets dropped there by Existent. But of course, Forrest did a lot of damage before he was taken out, sitting at now 6 HP. As we'll see here, you've got Smiths. They're all grouped up. They're trying to figure out exactly what they want to end up doing. You got Get right over here, as well as Flaren and Exist all over here towards the side.
It looks like VeryGames are waiting for Kenny's flash to just take over the middle area, and we'll see what they manage to do there.
Utilizing every bit of those smokes and flashes that they had before. Going to go ahead and wrap back around, as it looks like Get Right actually bounced back a little bit. And that perfect counter flash coming in there for Flaren, starting things off. Let's go ahead and switch over here. You can see that's going to be picking up some multiple kills. And look at this. Existence actually stayed back and didn't join his teammates to be able to push in there. And it looks like, I still don't know what he's going to end up saving. Is he going to end up saving a P250 in the end?
Well, he definitely shouldn't.
No.
I'll tell you that much. He's probably just going to find a way to die here. And that's not hard because Exist wants to frag.
10-1. Here in favor of NiP, complete control here in the grand finals.
This has been a very, very dominating match so far.
Again, you can see Forrest right now. Forrest sitting at 13-6 overall here in this matchup, and we'll see if he can cause a lot more damage here in this game.
And he likely will, unless VeryGames can just find a way to completely stop NiP, which they haven't been able to do at all here, as they are once again this time headed towards the hallway quickly with 3 members taking over the area. Of course, Forrest nowhere to be found this time.
We'll see what happens, as again they've now kind of filtered there into the tunnels area. This time you've got Forrest who's going to get boosted up in here, and you can kind of see that spot there. As we kind of rotate back around, kind of looking at the setup across the board, you can see Get Right's going to have a flash, but there's going to be action happening over here on this side. For Flaren able to take out one, a really tough position to be in, but he does end up getting a kill there. Remember, Forrest is just above here, going to be pushing inside the side. There goes the bomb. Bomb is now down. Forrest drops below, now in the battle with MBK, and finishes him off. Forrest, again, so huge, so big whenever he comes to the main stage, as now it's 15-6. This is KDR. There for Forrest, and 11-1, a 10-round lead here in favor of NiP.
Even I'm honestly not sure what VeryGames could do at this point. One thing I'd like to point out is they haven't really tested NiP's B bomb side a whole lot on gun rounds. They tend to go down there a little bit on save rounds, but on weapon rounds they tend to favor the A side, where they have had almost no success so far.
For Flaren starting things off there inside of mid, moved up with that AWP to get that first pick onto MBK. As we can take a look, now it looks like they're finally going to alter their strategies here against NiP, but will it be enough? They have to pick up rounds now, without a doubt. As you've got Get right there, going to go ahead and put that Molotov right there. Look how Get Right slides through. He actually may kind of get me right behind that defense or the offense. He's still alive inside behind. He's able to take out one, make that two, picks up three. 3 kills with the M4. So huge is Get Right now, picking up all 3 frags, pushing through the smoke, and that is basically how this game has gone. Get Right, so big, so huge. NiP 12, VeryGames 1.
And that's just a smack in the face for VeryGames, who finally got that entry into the site. Looked like they were going to get the bomb down, possibly win their second round of the half, and then just get denied by NiP's individual skill once again.
The 2 players that we've been talking about during our pregame throughout the entire tournament has been Forrest and Get Right, both of which great players, all go hand in hand, but it's still in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. They are definitely a force to be reckoned with as we look at 12-1. If the path wasn't hard enough, they just made it even far worse for themselves, as they have a lot of rounds to make up for on that counter-terrorist side, and it just doesn't seem feasible whenever you're playing against a team like NiP.
And even if Flaren, whose play has been criticized by everyone, including yours truly, has been playing very well in this final. He's 13-4, as NiP has a 4-on-3 right now against VeryGames.
Where's that bomb down? It's actually over here. This was basically supposed to be a pick-and-go strategy. He's going to get taken out. And again, this trying to win these individual battles is just not going to work out for you. Whenever a team is this hot, it's just not going to happen. As, again, we're back over here with RPK. He's down to a 1 versus 3. He's going to enter up here with Freiberg here in just a moment. You can see Freiberg set up shop. He will get taken out there by RPK. As now there looks like we've seen a rotate happen here by Get Right, but the bomb carrier actually was over inside of mid, and RPK goes down 13-1. Wow.
This is just, I don't know, should we rate it? I don't know.
Should start celebrating now?
I'm not sure if kids can watch this. This is a massacre happening here in this hall. NiP is just completely dominating over VeryGames. This reminds me of a group stage match of the tournament where they're basically warming up against a weak opponent, and that's how it's looking so far in the grand final of the event.
It's interesting because every single one of these rounds is a gun game for the terrorist side, and every single time they're getting eliminated time and time again. Look out. Exist missing that shot. RPK is the only one so far that's really been doing work here for VeryGames, pushing outside of these apartments. They have an opening. The Force is going to wait for his teammates to kind of regroup here so they can retake this bomb site. They've already given it up.
In fact, RPK might be the only person for VeryGames who has gotten 2 kills in the same round in this half. You know, everybody in NiP has probably done that 2-3 times.
Everybody has a highlight reel.
Exactly.
Bomb will finally get planted there inside the site. This is where everything will start to get initiated here. You've got Forrest going to get regrouped with his teammate right behind him, but be on the lookout. Creeping inside of the top. They're actually going to split all 3 sides at the exact same time. Here comes the push. They're going to be able to make their move here in just a second. They need to work together. There goes Get Right, picking up 1. There's now both pit members are both down. One in the backside of the site. Will he have the time? There's been a lot of time used here. Let's go and switch over here to Existence. Can he be able to save it? He's going to get taken out in game there for the first half, and is going to go to NiP 14-1.
That must be one of the most dominating halves in competitive Counter-Strike's history in the grand finals. I can't recall another time we've seen a 14-1 half. And not only is it a 14-1 half, it's a 14-1 half on Inferno.
Wow. Such a very impactful game. It just, you can see across the board for the Swedes. And one of the interesting things that I can see right now, RPK in that entire game, he was the only one that could get double-digit frags, and Smith only gets 2 kills in that game. But it's not that VeryGames was not playing extremely well. It's the fact is that NiP was just playing so dominant, and they were winning every one of those individual battles.
That's actually something we touched up on multiple times in this